record on this computer. Okay, we are recording. So let me switch over to share my screen so that y'all can see the slides as we go through. And actually, I want to commend Kendra and Cheryl and Debbie were the three that had done their Google form from last week. So yay to y'all for doing and following up on your homework. So let me share screen. Desktop. Okay, so this is week 4. Oh my gosh, we're halfway through. Can you believe it? Like summer is halfway over. So
I can't read that without singing it.
I know, don't you? You gotta love Bon Jovi. Can't do without that. So, and we know we're not living on a prayer. We're doing what needs to be done. So anyway, so we've talked about over the last 3 weeks things to increase your product knowledge so you can maximize sales and bookings. Belief, that decides what you believe you can and can't do, and that your brain can be retrained. And then we've talked to people out and about, how to put parties at your shows, words to say at both. And your passion is key, and that it shines through in everything that you do. So even when you think you're a good actress, you're really probably not as good as you think you are. So always look and smile before you get on that phone. Have a little mirror sitting there. And then host coaching effectively will help your sales and your bookings and having a constant full of leads. Hey, Shelly, you made it home. Good job.
Hey.
I was on the phone with another consultant, so I couldn't answer when you called. And then you also learn that your skills make a huge difference in every party. So, and hopefully you had a great show, Shelly. When you know your product, you'll be able to sell it. And when you know what you say and know how to respond, you can turn those babies into yeses. When you tweak your host coaching, then your parties are bigger and then you have better results. It's kind of like that domino effect. It keeps going and going and going. So what questions do you have about host coaching? Did any of you make a video to send to your host this week?
It was on my to-do list. Of course, it didn't get done.
And there's nothing that says you have to do that, but it's kind of a cool thing to do. Are you scared to make your own videos? Is it kind of intimidating a little bit? Shelly? Oh, Shelly, you make a good nod your head. You do a good job. So
I hate it, though. I can't watch myself.
Yeah,
I hate it.
I don't like to either. So what about the bridge reminder sheet? The checklist that I think Cheryl shared because I never did because I just got really, I forgot. I did everything but that.
Well, no, you did. It's just the Evernote would not open. I kept getting an error. So I had it on my Google Drive from last time.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And then it's actually updated too. So if anybody clicks on it, that's why I was asking you questions.
Gotcha. Okay. Very, very good. On the call that you were supposed to listen to, and I did not write it down, and I should have written it down. Was it Michael Yoakley this week?
He was on there.
What were y'all takeaways from listening to the call?
Oh, there's so many things. A guilt letter.
A guilt letter, okay.
So can you tell us what that means, Cheryl?
Oh, yes. You want me to read it? I wrote it down.
Yes, please do.
So the guilt letter is basically a letter. You do it for every show. Don't skip a month. Don't skip a show. You can use the same wording for everyone. It does not matter. It says, "Thank you so much for booking with me. The best way that I can show my appreciation is to help you have an end result you'll be thrilled with. I want your guests to have a fantastic time, and I want you to earn a huge shopping spree. I also want to let you know your show, underline your show, will actually be qualifying me for our next incentive trip to Hawaii. How cool are you? Your name is very popular in my home right now. Smiley face. Looking forward to our time together. I will be in touch soon."
Okay. Short and sweet, but it hits the highlights and it lets them know that their show isn't just, a lot of times I think people think, oh, it won't matter if I cancel. they don't realize this is our job, or this is our business, or this helps pay the bills. So that just kind of makes it more, to me, it makes it more, I do this, and it's important that you hold your show and you don't flake out on me. That's the way I interpret that, but it's politely said. So, what other takeaways? I know that Kendra, I know you're indisposed. Is there anything that you can remember off the top of your head?
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to unmute.
Yeah, that's fine. I was giving you a minute to unmute. So,
yeah, I think the, what she had mentioned, the guilt letter, I actually had jotted that down as well. And I think maybe just making it your own, like having your own personal touch and, figuring out like what works for you, but, to show someone that you, I guess, what was it she said, that you care, right? Going that extra step that you care and that they're, like a meaningful client at that time or whatever.
Yeah, it's the relationship. I mean, you do care. It's not, you're just not trying to check off a box, check, I did a show, that can go to my paycheck. You really want to build that relationship and show that you care. Good.
Can I say something about that, Angela? So I heard about that card, sending out that particular kind of script card last year for a virtual training by Marshann Stewart, which is fantastic, by the way. And she mentioned that it actually made her feel a little bad to call it a guilt card. So she calls it a connect card. So that I like that a little bit better too. It's just a way to connect yourself as a human, as a person, to your host. And I've been now sending those out since last September. And I can honestly say I've had a few people, like that have legitimately needed to cancel their show. And it makes such a difference when they've gotten that handwritten note from me, because they say, I'm so sorry that I have to cancel my show. I know this show is important to you. That sort of thing. It's like a completely different attitude. So I think it is really beneficial to connect you to your host.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. So good deal. Well, we are going to move on. Anything else on host coaching? Okay. So we're going to move on to recruiting. So you want people on your team and excitement and fun. And it's just, to me, that is like an adrenaline shot when you have new consultants join the team, because everybody gets so excited and pumped and they love to help each other. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Something that you may have heard or may not have heard. A lot of times when you're really excited and a new consultant, you don't want to throw up all over them. And what do I mean? Any guesses what I mean by that?
Spewing everything that you think they need to know.
Correct. So just you start reciting the whole consultant newsletter, not newsletter, but the whole consultant connection binder, all the rules and regulations. Oh, you get this and this and da da da. And after about 2 seconds, they're like, wall, forget. That's just like, oh no, I can't do that. It's a conversation, and really, ideally, you should do more listening than talking. So there's no perfect thing. Every conversation is different, and it just depends on what their answers are, what gets said. What you're doing in the interview or on the phone, in person, at the show is really helping them decide, is Pampered Chef a good fit for you? So does this scare anybody? Is this kind of make people a little nervous about sharing the opportunity? Y'all are getting quiet.
I was going to say probably me.
Okay.
Because I'm still so new.
Okay.
That's the only, because right now I'm still trying. I don't know why you can't see me. Can you see me?
I can see you. You may need to scroll. May have to scroll because there's more people on there than the list.
Okay.
You might not be able to see everybody.
Okay, so anyway, it's just because I've only had 2 shows, and one of them was my own, kickoff show or launch show. And so I don't feel quite comfortable enough as a consultant. I'm still learning through all of that.
Okay.
And picking up tips from my own shows that, this works better than this, and this is where I should go, and so forth.
Okay.
So trying to recruit somebody right now is like the furthest thing from my mind.
What if I kind of threw this as a kind of a something to think about? What if you learn together? What if you had somebody that was new too and say, you know what, I've just gotten started. Let's learn together.
Okay, that's a good approach. That would be a good approach.
Because,
Okay.
I mean, and she may learn something or he may learn something different than you, and then you share and you help each other, and kind of like we help each other, but it's the same thing. So because I'm still learning things, and I'm sure Shelley is, and Cheryl, and I mean, learning things constantly. So we never know everything. So it's just something to think about. So, because it's a great opportunity to share with people. Anybody else want to have any concerns or any questions?
No, just the only comment I would have is just the more you, as you go along, the more you talk about it and everything, you'll just become more comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yes.
anything else, it's just like doing a show, or the more you do it, then the more comfortable you'll become, and it'll be kind of second nature to you after a while. But nobody expects you to know it all right off the bat. I certainly don't. I mean, I'm still only a couple months in myself, so.
Mm-hmm. That is true. And then also, it's just like booking a show or host coaching. You may not be comfortable at the beginning, but the more you do it, no matter what the topic is in your business, that's the skill part of it. We'll talk about that later. The skills you build as you go. Anything else before we move on? Okay. So how do you know what to say? So Carol, our National Executive Director, and I printed it, and what did I do with it? Has a recruiting script. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to show you how to find it, because I think it's important for you to know this. But the other thing is there are recruiting cards on Consultants Corner, and they've actually been updated. And I didn't realize that until I was researching and doing all this. And then, like I said, ask a question, shut up and listen. You let them do most of the talking. So let's see if I can. We'll start with the PC University with the cards, since that's where I'm at. So when you're in PC University, you can go to recruiting. And then once you're there, over here where it says I introduce resources, when you click on the arrow, it expands. So right down here, can y'all see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So there is a digital interview PowerPoint. So you can click on that. It's going to download. Give it just a minute, then it'll open. Maybe. Still learning this computer. I thought it would. Let's do
It goes up there. Yeah.
Okay. So open up. Maybe it's still downloading. Well, crap. There it is. Okay. So these are from home office. So if you've been on one of their webinars, some of this is going to look familiar, but these are for you to be able to download. And if you're doing a chat with somebody via Facebook Messenger, or if you're texting back and forth, these are slides that you can use and send. So they have the make your everyday better. Let's chat about yourself. This is how you find out more about them. Would you like to know more about getting started, or like to know more, or know about getting started right now? So because some people are ready to sign right away, so you don't need to go through everything because they already know they want to do it. And there's different topics. Which of these interest you? And so it talks about the money, and then it goes back to setting your own app flexibility, and then it goes to support, and then it goes to the fun and rewards, and then it goes to the simplicity of running your business, and what sets Pampered Chef apart, and then how to get started, what the kits are, and then all 3 kits. So these cards are provided to us from Pampered Chef. They're professional looking. They have all the information we really need to ask and look. So that is one thing that you can use for an interview script, or an interview, a consultant interview. So let me close that. So also in here, it has how to do it, and it has a chat guide. So it tell you how to use those different slides. But the other thing we need to do is we need to go to, I've got to move this box. We're going to go to carolradu.com. I've got to move this box. Too many things. So carolradu.com, and it brings it up. I don't know why it didn't let me log in. I guess because I was logged in earlier. So there is a ton of information here. Since we're talking recruiting, that's where I'm going to focus. But click on resources and help. There is a ton of information here. If product cookbooks, cooking show help. This is where your host planning call guide is. We're going to go to the recruiting help. But the other thing I want to show you is these two right here have recorded calls with recruiting, host coaching, booking, all different kinds of topics. But recruiting help, there is your recruiting interview script. ROI means return on investment. That's something that you can do at your shows as a way to talk about the business. So when you click on recruiting interview script, it brings this up. What to say, when to say it, how to say it. It gives you the words. Now, you're thinking, I can't memorize all this. It's too long. Do you want to memorize it? Or should you memorize it?
No.
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 So what should you do? What about, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Because I was just going to ask, is this for in person or on the phone? I don't remember.
Well, more in person. On the phone, yeah, you don't have to memorize it on the phone either. So you've got your interview script here. So
Right.
Should I print it out and take it with me?
I think you could kind of make the high points, like go through it and kind of memorize some key words that would help you, like thanks would be the first thing, and then ask a question, and then,
Cue
just
cards.
some things that'll help you kind of remember
Okay.
what this is all about.
And you
just
do
have
want
it
to
on
be
the
familiar
index
with it,
card,
definitely.
Bullet points.
Yes, kind of like bullet points. But what if you have somebody like Susan, for example, that's like, I'm a new consultant. I don't know how to recruit. I don't know how to do this. But when you went to do your interview with her, you had this and you were using this to refer to throughout. And then when you're done, you hand it to her and say, here you go, Susan. So when you have somebody interested in the opportunity, here's so you know what to say. And so it's something that she can use as a resource as well. So she knows that she's not going to be totally on her own figuring out what to say. It's a resource that she has. How does that sound to y'all?
Yeah,
You
good
can-
idea.
She can duplicate what you just did, because whatever you do, you want to make it that they can duplicate it.
Exactly.
Anyone that can do it.
So that's what this is for. This is for you, to help you. And then part of the beauty of Carol's script is it helps getting the words to say to help her get those shows set. And it also kind of helps a little bit start figuring out what her why is, or his why is. So for the cooking show planning script, once you've said it a few times, you're going to kind of get to where you know it because you're host coaching. So you're doing it a lot. So you won't necessarily have to read it. You also want to kind of make it your own. So, but those were underneath the carolradu.com. The other cards, if you want a visual to go with it, that's under the Recruiting and PC University. So let's go back to our next slide. Now, Jennifer Courtney has, here I put the link, and I finally, thank you, Kendra, for encouraging me to keep trying to figure out how to do this. So I put the link for Carol's recruiting script here. So whenever I upload the slides from this week to the Evernote, then you'll be able to get that there. These are questions that Jennifer Courtney uses to recruit. So this is just something else. It covers a lot of the same things that Carol does, just in a different format. So it's more open-ended. And the PowerPoint interview cards, so I did that first because you saw it, but I put how to get their PCU, recruiting, introduce resources, and then the interview PowerPoint, and then the interview chat guide. So I have that there with the, it's not really a hyperlink, but I don't know why I did that, but that's the path that you would take to find those things. Any questions on any of those particular things?
No.
Okay. So why would you want to recruit?
Earn more money.
Is
You can't
that the elephant in the room?
earn more money, yes. Why else? Do y'all like helping people?
Sure, share the love.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was just it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't I want someone else to have as much fun as I'm having?
Exactly, Susan. I see. I'll pay you later, right? No, I'm just kidding. So
You know what? I was afraid of that. I have to tell you, I would talk to Lauren and I talked about this for well over a year,
Mhm.
and I was scared.
Uh-huh.
I was afraid I couldn't do it. I was afraid of the fun. Isn't that crazy? And now I'm just like, ah!
It's like, why did I wait so long?
I know, right? She's every time she sees me, she just kind of gives me that little look.
So why else would you want to, I don't remember if that's what we we're talking about, but what are some other reasons why you would want to recruit?
Well, it's security too. If you grow your business, then you got other people under you that are also doing the business, and you're benefiting from their work as well. So it's that is just expanding your business.
It is expanding your business. And like Susan said, it's fun, and we want more people to know about Pampered Chef. And we can't, if you drive through your neighborhood and you look at all the houses, that's a lot of houses. And you know, how many of them have ever even heard of Pampered Chef or done a Pampered Chef show? There are so many people that, and we've got a lot of millennials, younger kids, I'm showing my age, younger people that are, my son's a millennial, so that don't know as much about Pampered Chef as they know about Pampered Chef through their parents, that we can reach them too, because it's a great, everybody's looking for, a lot of people are looking for a side gig. And this one is great because everybody eats, and we have tools to make it easier for them. And it is fun, Susan. And just so that y'all know, the way you're talking about making more money, when you have a recruit, if you don't sell something for the month, if you're not active, then even if your consultant sold $1,200, you would not get anything paid for that. We are a party-based structure. So that means if you're not working, then you don't get paid. If your consultant doesn't work, then you don't earn anything. So you have to, if you're both, there's, you know what I'm saying? If you both work, then yes, you get that extra percent or 2% or 3%, depending on what level you are. So you don't get paid just for bringing somebody in. You
Right.
get paid when you both work.
Right.
So, and I love that about our company, because it's not trying to bring people in just to benefit yourself. You're bringing people in to help them too. So,
Right. Your team.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So don't freak out. It's just a conversation. You're just talking to them, asking questions. And when you get done, you say, are you ready to get started? When do you want your first paycheck? Do you have any more questions? If they say, well, I don't know, say, well, what else do we need to talk about? What other questions do you have? Ask them, do you want your first paycheck? You know what, today's 15. Do you want your first paycheck at the beginning of next month or the end of next month? So we can sign you up now and get you a show or two in before the end of the month, and you'll get your first paycheck on the 7th. Or if you need to wait till payday, we can, so there's different ways to do that. So before we move on to skills, though, I'm going to throw it to Shelly, and she's not expecting this. Is there anything else you want to cover on recruiting that, because we didn't go into depth on things, we just kind of hit the highlights. So is there anything, because you've been a recruiting machine here lately and adding some wonderful people to your team, and I'm so excited for you. So.
I would say, yeah, I think we have a tendency to, like you said, we just do it. I mean, you don't have to make it a big deal, and you're not handling all their training. You're not handling, having to teach them everything. So just because you're recruiting doesn't mean, you're their director. Like Angela and I are still taking care of all of those responsibilities at this point. So it's, there's really nothing to fear. And like she said to you, Susan, it is way more fun to do this with a friend, and to learn together as you go. So there's nothing to be afraid of. The other thing I'll say is, and I learned this from Tiffany, is that you can sign people at your shows. I just did that today. So Angela, if you didn't know.
I just saw that.
So that's the second person that I've signed at my shows. And honestly, I think the only reason I had never done that before is because I really didn't think that that was possible. Like I just, it really hadn't occurred to me that that was something that really could happen. But now that I know it can, it's become much easier. So I think with recruiting, that is the barrier most of the time, is that we just don't think it's possible.
Mhm.
But once you realize that it is just a conversation, and you want to just invite everybody and everybody you meet, it becomes much easier as you go.
Well, and sometimes too, when you said you put up a barrier, we think about it too much. We think,
Mhm.
well, we have to have this specific setting, this specific this, we have to meet, we have to do this, we have to talk about this. But if somebody's excited at the show and they're like, oh my gosh, this is something I want to do, go for it. Just have them sign up and get started, and while they're excited, and then, or if they can't do it then, set a time to talk with them the next 24 to 48 hours right away while they're excited from the show. So I know that a couple of y'all have been, or several of you actually, I don't know about Kendra, but and Susan, we just talked about that. So, but some of the others, they've talked to people about the business, and I love that y'all are sharing the business. So sometimes we talk about it, but we never do the close. What do I mean by the close?
Yeah, the follow through, get the signature on the dotted line.
Yep. So we do everything. We say, are you having more questions? No. Okay, great. Well, just let me know when you want to sign up. Instead of saying, okay, well, let's go ahead and order your kit. Or when do you want you want that action close statement to finish, and go from there. So any last minute questions on recruiting?
Oh, excuse me. No.
Okay. And PC University has a lot of stuff. And I will say Coffee Talk has some great recruiting audios for that. So we're still working about skills. Earlier, somebody mentioned, and I don't remember now, my memory's terrible, said something about skill. And remember, skill is something you can learn, right? So
Right.
if you're not a good recruiter, you can learn how to be a good recruiter. Just like Shelley took information from Tiffany, learning that she can, oh, you know what, you can recruit at a show. So now she's learned that skill and she's applied that skill and she's able to do that. You can do the same thing. If you're uncomfortable and you don't know what to say, Shelley or even Lauren or I will be available to have a 3-way conversation on Facebook via a phone call. If you need to meet for coffee, if they want to meet in person, we're willing to do that. I'm speaking for Shelley, but I think she would be okay with that. To help you in case you're not comfortable for the first time. So that's what we're here for. So skills. One thing I'm going to say this about Kendra, I love that she's using all her products and practicing and playing with her tools that she just got, and she's sharing it with us and all that. I think that's fantastic because you get more comfortable with things, whether it's a product, whether it's host coaching, whether it's booking, recruiting. The more comfortable with it, the more you do it, the better it's going to be. So, and the bigger your skill, the bigger your check. So, like I just said, skills are the easiest pillars because you can fix it by practice recruiting your friend. You never know, she may sign up. Developing personal, I thought I edited that. Maybe I didn't. Develop I would say personal stories, personal things about your business that I was really shy, and Pampered Chef has helped me come out of my shell. And something I learned from recruiting is that I enjoy helping people. And I never thought that was a perk of this business that I had never even thought about when I started. And it's so much fun to see other people reach out and step out of their comfort zone. And that's been just the hugest blessing to me and the biggest perk. So, watch and listen to home office and other trainings, go to the team meetings, attend conference, listen to the coffee talk. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Calls, read books on recruiting, sharing, direct sales. There's YouTube trainings, just like for cooking shows, they have recruiting trainings, and do lots of shows. It can be virtual, they can be cooking, any and all. It does not matter. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get. Even on your virtuals and on your cookings, you want to talk about the business 3 different times minimum, 3 different ways. So since we're going really fast, I'm going to digress on that. So what are 3 different ways you could talk about recruiting at a show, whether it's a virtual or cooking?
The perks that we get for being a consultant.
Okay, so what are some of those perks?
Oh God, where to start? The commission, the trips, the free products we get and earn every month, or free for all products. They spoil us rotten.
They do, and we need to tell people that because our company is very generous, very, very generous. So awesome. What are some so talking about the perks of the business, sharing the perks. What's another way to talk about the business at a show?
Flexibility.
Flexibility. So expand on that a little bit, Debbie.
Well, like for me, it's since my full-time job is, the hours I can't depend on, getting off work on time or anything. It allows me the flexibility to, on my lunch break, I can, work my virtual show, get in there and do things. So I still can work the business around what I do, every day. So it's, and I'm not, that's what for me was flexibility. I was out of town at Charlotte, so I was doing 2 parties while I was in Charlotte.
Cool.
I don't think I'll ever do that again, but but because you don't sleep well and there's long days and sitting on hard seats all day long. But still, it's just the flexibility of being able to work when I need to, and if I need to take a week off, I can. Although, so that to me, that's the flexibility, is let me work the business around my personal life and my my full-time job.
Okay. What else? Flexibility, the perks. What else?
Well, I think the idea that it's your business, and so you can, if you want to just earn, $100 a month, you can do that. Well, no, you can't. You got to earn more than that. But if you want to just earn a little bit, you can do that. Maybe you just want to, work toward a couple of $100 a month, or if you want to earn more than that, you can do that. You have goals, and you set your own goals, and then you work toward achieving those. I like that.
Yep, it is. It's your own. And then let's say you start for this reason. You wanted enough to, pay for your daughter's gymnastics each month. But then something happens. And, well, Tiffany's on the call, but I will tell you this. When she started her Pampered Chef business, then her husband lost his job. All of a sudden, she had to go from making extra money to paying the bills. She got on the phone and did it. The beauty of our business is when we need more, we can make it more by reaching out and doing more shows. We don't have to wait on Target to call us and say, yeah, we can add you on one more shift. You can do it on your own, make it however much you want or however much you need. Or if you need to have a week off, then you can work more another week and take that week off, and then to make up for whenever you're not there. So yes, definitely. Good point. One more thing, and then we're going to finish up.
I was just thinking about something that was mentioned at Shelley's at our last meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't have to have a supply of lipsticks or eyeshadows or whatever. I'm sorry if I'm picking on somebody who sells that too, but I was just thinking about a friend of mine who has her supply of stuff, and I don't have to have that.
Mm-hmm. What you have, you get to use every day.
Right, but I mean, wouldn't it be crazy if I had like this shelf full of like stoneware?
And you're waiting for
It
someone
would be
to
a very
buy it.
heavy shelf, but you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm
And then you have to
carting
wait
around
and see
stoneware everywhere.
Yep. And wait, is that this? Oh, that's not the stone they want. Well, I don't have that one. Then, so you're kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And then it
I
gets
don't know.
retired, and then you're stuck with 4 retired stones or something.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep. So we really, and so think about why you love the business and why wouldn't you share? And it's just like when you're asking somebody to do a show. If they say, no, it's not for me, that's okay. We still need guests and customers and hosts. But you never know, they may say yes. So if you think they would be good, make sure you let them know why. Oh my gosh, so many great food tips. You love to cook. Have you ever thought about getting paid for something you love? Or you were so much fun tonight. Everybody loved what you did when you did this, or you commented this and this. You did my job for me tonight. Have you ever thought about doing this? So we did the questions. I think everybody's done their questions, right? So let's do our homework. So Brenda Copy, Genevieve Black, and Top Recruiters Tell All. So you have another great call to listen to. And then how many shows will you commit to booking, coaching calls, follow up with your recruiter, how many leads, bookings, sales, what'd you have trouble with, and a brag. So I'm going to, and thank y'all for attending, because I know there's so many things you can do. Something I need to let you know, I am actually going to be on vacation this week. I leave Wednesday, but I don't get home until midnight next Sunday. So I don't know whether Shelly can do this for us next week. Okay, yes. So Shelly will lead next week, so I'll send her all the information. I will not be able to be on it. I will be on the airplane coming home from Chicago, actually. And then I will be back for the last week before we go to conference to finish up to do this. So watch for the Zoom. We'll get it all set up. I'll do your Google form. I'll add these slides to the Evernote so that you'll have these too. Is this helping y'all? I'm curious. Is this something that is helping y'all? Do you feel like you're getting good information to help you with your businesses?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
If nothing else, it's giving me places to go for the resources.
Good. Okay.
Right.
I mean, if I don't, my brain doesn't retain it tonight,
Uh-huh.
I know where to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very, very good. We're working on trying to have more training information for y'all as our team. And this was just one of the resources that we have that I wanted to do. So anyway, I could digress all day, but I want to thank y'all for being here and have a fantastic week. And while I'm gone, I'm sure you could reach out on our page to Shelly or Lauren or anybody else, and they'll help you, because I honestly don't know how much I'll be in and out doing some different things. So I don't know how much access I'll have to things. So let's all reach out and talk to somebody about the business this week, and then you can tell your experience next week to Shelly. So I'm going to add that to your homework. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Y'all have a fantastic week.
Yay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Recording.
Bye-bye.
Bye.